Welcome to the first video on learning music. In this video I'm going to show you how to read musical notes, and it'll be done in the treble clef and the bass clef. Now you'll notice over here you have what's called the treble clef, and I'll just write that out. It's T-R-E-B-L-E. That's the treble clef. And this down here is called the bass clef. The bass clef. And the reason they did it that way is because the piano has a lot of notes, and each one of these notes, for example, middle C maps right here, D maps right here, and so on. But if you want to cover the whole piano, you can't do it just on, there's 5. Each note gets a space or a line, and you can't cover all the notes in just 5 spaces and lines. You actually need, 2 levels of it. So the bass clef is intended for the lower notes. So the bass clef generally covers sort of the notes down sort of roughly here, and the treble clef usually covers there. That's generally how people do it. Okay, actually you should mark that down. Oops, where am I? There you go. So that's for the treble clef, and that's for the bass clef. Okay, so the first thing to remember, the most important thing, is this note right here is middle C. And the reason this note is important is because it's the same note. I'm going to do it in black. It's the same note if you do it right here. Whoops, right there. That's also middle C. So this is one and the same note. If you see this note here on the bass clef or this note here on the treble clef, they're both middle C. And that corresponds to this key on the piano or whichever place on your musical instrument. And then when you go, you'll notice also there's a pattern. Okay, you've got C, D, E, F, G, A, B. Okay, and I'm going to do this pattern here. So that's called an octave. It'll take you from C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then you'll repeat it again. Now you'll notice C always starts, you got the 2 black keys right here, 1 and 2, and the C is just to the left. And you'll notice it's just to the left here. That's a C. And up here, it's just to the left of the 2 black keys. And so that's always a C. And the pattern is C, D, E, F, G, A, B. And then you start again with the C. Okay, so now let's get to learning how to read. I mean, obviously when you're reading music, you don't want to be doing this lookup pattern every single time. That'll be very, very painful. So let's start by drawing. I'll give you a trick to help you learn this pattern a little faster. Okay, so we'll start with the treble clef. So draw in the treble clef. Okay, now in the treble clef, you have to remember there are 3 important notes and you have to memorize them. Okay, and I'll put them in red so you'll memorize them. I don't know if that'll help you memorize, but anyways, your first note that you have to memorize is this one down here. Okay, now you'll notice from here, right there, that's the middle C. That's right here. Okay, the next important note to memorize is this one right here. This is, if you go here, right here on the treble clef, and you go down, you notice this is a B. I'll just put a B. And the last note you should memorize, and it's actually not listed here, but I'm going to show you, is the A. Now, if I were to show this on the chart, it would actually be way up here. You'd put a line, and then if you actually put this in, this would be an A, line up with that. Okay, and so C, B, and A, those are the three most important notes to remember. And the main reason is because you can start counting as soon as you know a note. Okay, now before we do this, I'm going to go to the bass clef and do exactly the same thing. So I'm going to first grab a black. Now the bass clef is pretty important. You always start this on the second line, you hook up, and you back down, and you put your dots, right there. That's the bass clef. Okay, now you also have three important notes to remember in the bass clef. The first one, again, is up here, and that is the middle C again. You'll notice from right here, this note and this note is the same. The next note to remember is this note right here. And I picked these notes because this is right smack in the middle of the bass clef. You know, there's two lines above, 2 lines below. This is sitting exactly on the middle line. If you go to exactly on the middle line, which is right here, you'll notice that's a D. And that's a D right there. And of course, if you go right down to here, right, so this will take you to this is a G, then this one will be a F, and then on the line, hang on, where's the G? F is here, and on the line, which sort of lines up with this one, and this is in E. Okay, so this is an E. So the memorization pattern is C, C, B, A, and that's for the treble clef, and on the bass clef going down is C, D, E. Memorize this. Now there's a reason for memorizing it. Okay, because now you just have the method to figure out a note. It's very straightforward. Okay, learn. Whoops. Music notes. Okay. So step 1, pick a starting point. Oops. Pick starting point. And 2, count. That's all you have to do. I'll give you an example. I'll pick a different color here. Oops. Okay, so I think I got purple. So let's say I pick this note. Let's say I pick this note right here. Okay, what note is this? Okay, we know it's sitting in the space. Okay, so the starting point, let's say I pick B as a starting point. So I know this is B on the line, so I know this is C. Okay, this is C. The line is D. So this one is E, right? Bingo, I can figure it out. I could have also started up here at A, right? I know the one down from A is G. Then the line was F, and this becomes E, right? A, G, A is on the line, G, F, and E. I'll give you another example. Let's go on the bass clef. Okay, let's say I pick a note right smack over here. Okay, which note is that? Well, I can start at D and start counting down. So I know this line is D. So this space here is C, and therefore this line has to be B. And you know this is B. Now if we had started up here, down here, we could have done the same. E, F, G, what did I do here? E, yeah, this one is F. Sorry, the space is G, the line is G. That's right. Then the space is A, and again we get back to B. So the method for figuring out any note in any piece of music is memorize your starting points. That's memorize. Once you memorize your starting points, pick a starting point and count. And that will take you to the right note name. And once you have the right note name, you can also figure out the right position in the piano. And that's basically how you learn to turn your music notes. Over time, you'll actually learn how to read them without even doing this. But this will get you going.